Donald Trump just auctioned off the Secretary of Navy position for $1.5 million. Didn't know there was an auction for such things? Well, there is. John Phelan, who's an art collector and a mega donor, bought the position effectively for $1.5 million. He has zero military experience, zero Navy experience, zero defense contractor experience, and he's going to be put in charge of running 1 million sailors and Marines and civilians for the Navy, along with a $250 billion budget. Do I have your attention now? You're on MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. I'm Michael Popok. Let's take a look at what Donald Trump is doing. It's got to be a joke. I feel like I'm getting punked, where Donald Trump is basically tearing down our national security in broad daylight. The person that John Phelan, just put a pin in him for a minute, is going to report to is a Fox and Friends weekend anchor who Donald Trump wants to run the Pentagon. Who the guy's never run anything than his makeup trailer. Seriously, he's been the Pete Hegseth, who's been tapped to be the head of the Pentagon, is a major in the National Guard at best. Okay, I'm not stealing anybody's valor, but he's never run a $1 billion organization with millions and millions, 3 million people in the Defense Department. So I thought, well, maybe Donald Trump will support that guy who's going to head all of the Department of Defense in our civilian control structure with some secretaries of the various branches like the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force who have some experience, a former colonel or general, somebody who's in the service that they've been asked to be the secretary for. Nope, I was wrong. I was wrong. Just like he picked somebody who's a compromised security risk and potential Russian asset to run his national be his national intelligence director, and Tulsi Gabbard, he picked John Phelan. Now, I've been reading a lot of the military websites like Stars and Stripes and Defense Contractor and all this to see how they're reporting it. And they're all got the collective deer in the headlights. They did note that John Phelan has absolutely no qualifications to be the Navy Secretary. None. Which on its face, when he's asked the tough questions during a confirmation hearing by at least the Democrats about how he qualifies for this job under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, which says that the person that's picked to be the civilian head of one of our branches of the armed forces must be, and I quote, highly qualified for the position with background and experience that's appropriate concerning management and leadership experience. And I just looked at that and I went, huh? John Phelan, for most of his career, was the investment person. He was the risk manager, the investment advisor for Michael Dell of Dell Computers and his family office, investing Michael Dell's money. Okay. And that family office probably has, 10 people in it. I don't know. I'm sure he's moving around the money piles belonging to Michael Dell. I get it. That qualifies him to have a $250 billion budget, 1/3 of our total military budget of one of the fighting forces and naval forces in the world, and have 1 million people under his command. See, Donald Trump thinks this way because he came out of a family office. It was like 12 people and 6 of them had Trump as the last name. So he thought, well, I became president of the United States. I'm the commander in chief. How hard could it be? Right, this is how Donald Trump thinks. So he's hollowing out these civilian defense command and control. These are just meat puppets for Donald Trump to tell them to do whatever he wants. He's just going to stick his hand up. It's like a Muppet. John Phelan, I'm sorry. I'm sure you've had a successful career being an art collector and an investor for Michael Dell and being his investment strategist, but you're going to be a meat puppet. You're just going to have a hand up your bottom like Frank Oz and Miss Piggy, and Donald Trump's going to tell you what to do and what to say as the Secretary of the Navy. There's no other way to put it. You have no ability and no experience for the requisite position. You are unfit. You would never be hired for this job if you were applying for it like on Indeed or LinkedIn. If let's see, we got a resume for Secretary of the Navy. Let's see, John Phelan. Let's take a look at your resume here. Okay. Never in the military. Nope. Never in the Navy. Nope. You ever been on a boat? I own a yacht. Well, that's close enough. Defense contractor? Nope. What's the largest organization you ever ran? 12 people. Okay. And how about a budget? How big of a budget did you have? Well, I invested, $1 billion. That's pretty good. We have a $250 billion budget and 1 million sailors and Marines that you'll be responsible for. But so far, you're in the running for this job, sir. I mean, is that how Donald Trump cares about America? Is that how he's going to make us stronger, make America greater and better? It sounds like a joke. I mean, if Putin was picking a cabinet and Putin was picking the heads of our branches of government and our branches of the military, he'd pick these people. Traditional bed sheets, they can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat. It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses, and it's just gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning, antibacterial bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather. So you get better sleep every night. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo, LegalAF, at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf and use the code LegalAF to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/legalaf to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Think about it. Think about how hard Putin is laughing about the people that Donald Trump is picking. I mean, I know he's the commander-in-chief. I get the Constitution. I understand it. But how about putting a former admiral, But Donald Trump's fallen out with admirals and generals. He collected all of them the last time, like they were Burger King glasses. He collected, everybody was a general. Former, general chief of staff, former general this, and they all turned on him because Donald Trump's incompetent. And he still is incompetent. Now he's just older and incompetent. And so Donald Trump's just like, I know, I'll just put all these people in that'll just be loyalty, and money is the only thing that they need as a qualification. Are they loyal to me, and do they donate a lot of money to me? Look at the cabinet and the people in his government that are coming in. Elon Musk, $200 million. He bought himself a job on the made-up Department of Government Efficiency, and to make sure that he secures all the government contracts that he can consume. Bassett, the new Treasury Secretary, donor to Donald Trump. Howard Lutnick, big donor to Donald Trump. He got Commerce Secretary. I think that if you're looking for a sale price on that, on the auction related to that, I think Lutnick raised, $75 million for him, donated about $5 or $6 million of his own money. That gets you the Commerce Secretary. Linda McMahon, she gets a Small Business Administration. I don't think she gave as much money as she did last time. So they gave her the Small Business Administration job, but she was a big donor. And now this guy, Secretary of the Navy. I mean, what was it? Was there like a brochure? Was it like a silent auction at one of his fundraisers at Mar-a-Lago or somewhere where you went around the room and you're like, oh, look, honey, dinner for 4 at this really exclusive restaurant. That's going for $850. And look over here, you can meet Tom Brady and throw a football with him, and that's $2,000. Oh, look, you could be Secretary of the Navy for $1.5 million. I mean, is that what it is? It's like the billionaires going up in Blue Origin and up with Elon Musk into space, to go suborbital. I'm going orbital at this point. If you think put this in the comments, did you wake up more secure or less secure in your personal security about the nation's security last night than today when you found out that John Phelan had effectively bought or been awarded or gifted the Secretary of Navy position? Secretary of Army's next. How much is that going to go for? Right? Maybe if you donate enough, you get two. It's like Price is Right. If you don't go over, you can be two things. I mean, I'm laughing as I'm going to cry otherwise. Now, here's the good news. He's got to go through Senate confirmation. There is a chance. There are a number of nominees for Army, Navy, Air Force that don't make it. Usually because we draw, people like me and you draw attention to it, public firestorm against it, phone calls, former military, which will start coming out tomorrow, will say it's an affront to our America and to our way of life and to our national security, which will instantly be insecure with this guy at the helm. Now he'll push back. Trump's already. He's on the board, accordingly, John Phelan, of something called Spirit of America, which is a bunch of retired admirals and generals in an advisory position where this group raises money to sort of help with the logistics around military operations. It's very weird. It sounds like a bunch of stalkers of the military, like military wannabes. Like, that guy that always wants to be a cop. So he goes and gets his own badge and goes down to the Army Navy store. That guy has the police scanner in his house. That's like these groups. This is like these groups. Right? I know people like this. They want to get really, really close to the military, right? Because they never had the bravery or the courage to actually go in and make the greatest sacrifice. So here he bought the greatest sacrifice, I guess is the way to put it. So it's a good chance that the Senate could shoot him down. I mean, you got a number of members of the military that will do some interrogation. We got Tammy Duckworth, who was a lieutenant colonel, who was blown out of the sky in a helicopter, lost both of her legs and part of her arm. She's a senator. She's from Hawaii. She may have a few choice questions for John Phelan about why he thinks he's qualified to run the Navy. I used to think Joni Ernst, the Republican side, who used to be a lieutenant colonel as well in the Army, in the National Guard of the Army, and was in battle and overseas. I used to think that Lieutenant Colonel Senator Joni Ernst would take a lead in shooting down a lot of these crazy military-oriented cabinet picks after she got passed over for Department of Defense. But they figured out a way to co-opt her and to kidnap her and bring her inside the tent so she pees out. And they made her the Senate caucus chair for the Department on Government Efficiency, whatever that is. Sounds like a major consolation prize. So, but there are people who were in the military who will be the Grand Inquisitor for somebody like Phelan. And look, he'll have to either drop out or try to go all the way. We'll see what happens. But I don't feel more secure. And to the extent that Donald Trump looked the American people in the eye and said, vote for me, I know how to be commander-in-chief. Not so far. Not from what I've seen. And we'll follow it so that you can contact the two senators from your state and tell them to oppose these asinine picks that make us less secure as an American people. You're on MeidasTouch, also Legal AF. Legal AF has its own channel now. Last 2 weeks, we got, 340,000 subscribers, and we sit at the intersection of law and politics. 50 million people a month know what hopefully you know now, that Legal AF is the home of law and politics like no other on YouTube and on the internet. We got our podcast, Legal AF, as well. So until my next hot take, until my next contribution to all things Legal AF, I'm Michael Popok, and I am reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.